In a forgotten industrial town, far from bright cities and fast lives, there was an old workshop standing quietly at the corner of a broken road. Most people passed it every day without looking twice. The walls were cracked, the roof leaked when it rained, and the paint had faded so much that even its original color was impossible to guess. Inside that workshop, on a wooden table covered with oil stains and rust marks, sat a small engine, a mini engine, old, weak, and ignored. To the world, it was nothing. To one boy, it was everything. The boy's name was Ethan. He grew up inside that workshop. His father was a mechanic, not the kind who owned a big garage or had a sign with his name written in bold letters, but the kind who fixed broken machines just to survive. Money was always short. Some days there was work, some days there was nothing. But one thing was always present: the sound of metal, the smell of oil, and the quiet hope that tomorrow might be better. Ethan learned early that life did not start with advantages. While other kids played with toys, Ethan played with screws, wires, and gears. While other kids dreamed of becoming famous, Ethan dreamed of making something work. He watched his father repair machines late into the night, hands shaking from tiredness, eyes heavy but never giving up. That is where Ethan learned his first lesson without even realizing it. Broken things could be fixed, and weak things could become strong with patience. One evening, Ethan's father brought home a small engine that someone had thrown away. It barely fit on the table. It was damaged, rusted, and missing parts. His father said it was useless, that no one wanted it, and that it would probably end up in the trash. But when Ethan saw it, something changed inside him. He did not see scrap. He saw a challenge. He saw a chance. From that day on, the mini-engine became his focus. Every free moment Ethan sat beside it. He cleaned it. He examined it. He tried to understand how it worked. The first time he tried to start it, nothing happened. The second time it made a weak sound and stopped. The third time it shook violently and died again. Failure after failure followed. His hands were always dirty. His fingers were cut. His heart was heavy. But every failure taught him something new. People noticed his obsession. Neighbors laughed. Friends mocked him. They said he was wasting his time on junk. They said small engines were useless, that only big machines mattered. Some even told him to stop dreaming and find a real path in life. Ethan listened to their words, but he did not let them stop him. Every night, under a single dim light in the workshop, he tried again. When the town slept, Ethan worked. One night, exhausted and frustrated, Ethan asked his father why people believed small things had no value. His father looked at him for a long moment and then said something simple but powerful. He said that small things move the world quietly, and that people only notice them when they stop working. That sentence stayed in Ethan's mind longer than anything else. Then came the storm. Heavy rain fell for hours. The workshop roof leaked badly. Water damaged tools. Rust spread quickly. The mini-engine was soaked and almost destroyed. When Ethan saw it the next morning, his heart sank. For the first time, he felt truly defeated. He sat on the cold floor and thought about quitting. He thought maybe the world was right. Maybe some things were just too small to matter. The workshop was silent. No machines, no voices. Just rain dripping slowly. Then as Ethan touched the engine one last time, there was a soft click. It didn't start. It didn't run. But it responded. That tiny sound was enough. It was a sign. The engine was still alive. Ethan wiped his face, stood up, and made a promise. If the engine was not giving up, neither would he. He cleaned every part carefully. He learned more than ever before. He studied machines, designs, and mistakes. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. There was no applause, no encouragement, just effort. One quiet evening, Ethan tried again. He turned the switch slowly. At first, nothing happened. Then there was a small vibration, then a steady sound. The mini-engine began to run, not loudly, not powerfully, but smoothly. Ethan stood still, afraid to move, afraid to break the moment. Then he smiled. The smallest engine in the workshop was finally working. That engine did more than just run. It changed everything. Ethan connected it to a small generator. That generator powered a light. The workshop lit up again. People noticed. They asked questions. They were surprised. Ethan did not brag. He simply said it was a small engine that did not quit. Over time, Ethan improved the design. He built more engines, affordable ones, reliable ones, engines for farmers, small workshops, and villages that needed simple solutions. The same people who once laughed now depended on his work. They finally understood that power was not about size, but about persistence. Today, the original mini engine sits quietly on a shelf. It no longer runs. It does not need to. It already did its job. It proved that small beginnings are not weaknesses. They are foundations. If you ever feel small, ignored, or underestimated, remember this story. Remember the mini engine. It did not rush. It did not complain. It kept moving. And one day, that was enough.